Black Panther 2 has been through a lot, to say the least. Down to the pandemic, tragic loss, and controversies, it has been an obstacle course. After all that it's been through, though, it's still in production and is set to release on November 11th, 2022. However, after all that's been announced and rumors, I'm not so sure about this one, and I'll explain why. Chadwick Boseman. Tragedy struck in the MCU with the passing of the actor for T'Challa due to having battled cancer. No disrespect to Chadwick and his family, but the character of T'Challa is detrimental to the MCU. Killing him off screen would be a disservice. Adding on to that, this would be the third time T'Challa would die. First being defeated by Killmonger, second from the blip, and the third being this film. I've always been split on recasting Chadwick, but I think it would be better to continue the story of T'Challa by just getting another actor. Panther's replacement. Instead of doing a recast, Feige decides to replace him with Shuri. Don't get me wrong, I kinda like Shuri. She's smart, cultured, and has a personality unlike most other female superheroes. Nonetheless, she's yet to show why she should be the next ruler of Wakanda besides being T'Challa's sister. There are other capable characters that would be better candidates. Okoye is the leader of the Dora Milaje and was the temporary leader of Wakanda during the blip. M'Baku is a tribal leader who fought for the throne and fought for Wakanda during its civil war and its battles with Thanos. Okoye and M'Baku are, to me, just the better fit for the role. About Laida Wright's controversy, I don't really care. Her shenanigans involve stating her public opinion on a certain vaccine. Not only did the majority of the public disagree, she broke a Disney contract rule about speaking their controversial opinions. Even though I don't share the same opinion, she shouldn't be getting this much flack for it. So what other characters are going to be involved besides the original? Well, I'm going to talk about one certain character that is well known by the Marvel fandom in negative spotlight. Riri Williams. Riri grew up in Hood City. She was classed with super genius IQ at the age of 5, got accepted into MIT at 15, and built her own Iron Man suit at 14. Later, she meets an AI clone of Tony Stark that helps her build a better suit, and she becomes the hero Ironheart. Fans criticize Riri for being a Mary Sue to the fact that she is said to be smarter than Tony Stark and has a flat origin story. I don't see anything wrong with Riri having a higher IQ than most people her age, but smarter than Iron Man? I do agree her origin is boring. Since Riri is involved in Wakanda forever, she might have her origin changed from being from Illinois to being from Wakanda. Besides Riri, there is another character that everyone's been hyped to see in the MCU, and is in fact one of the first superheroes to be published in Marvel, Namor the Submariner. You might be wondering, why do you put quotation marks every time you say Atlantis? I do that because Namor is not going to be Atlantean. He's going to originate from another underwater city, but Latino. So why make this change? Is it for diversity? This is odd because Atlanteans are Atlanteans. They don't really share a lot of similarities with humans. Their skin is blue. They've adopted their own culture outside of any natural humans. They kind of remind me of the Na'vi from Avatar. So if Atlanteans are blue, why does Namor look human? Namor was born from an Atlantean mother, the Queen of Atlantis, but a human father, who was just a fisherman. He inherited his powers from his mom, but his human looks from his father. Due to his father, he can literally look like any race. Do me a favor and look up Atlantis and where it's located. On the hypothetical map, the sunken city is right by Portugal in Africa. So if you want him to be diverse, make him Portuguese or African. I've heard other people say it was because they didn't want him to look like a knockoff Aquaman, and I say that's BS because Namor was created a year before Aquaman. If anything, Aquaman is the ripoff of Namor. Speaking of Namor's looks, his comic suit looks awesome. No, not his Speedo, his warrior suit that he normally uses in comic medium. It's a mixture of aqua blue, black shoulder pads with black sidings and a golden belt. The man truly looks like the king of Atlantis. Well, Marvel released photos of Namor's new costume and oh my god, that is horrific. It's based on Namor's Speedo. As I say, why? You have this terrific suit from the modern comics, yet you use the vintage? If you wanted it to match your underwater El Dorado theme, then just change the color scheme to match, or better, use the Namor the Submariner issue 46 suit, but replace the white with gold. They instead make him look like a macho slash WWE wrestler. They gave extra armor to his gauntlets and Speedo, yet his chest and stomach are completely exposed. Yes, your balls are extra armored, but risk getting cut and impaled at the area your organs stored. Might as well fight naked. After hearing all of this and seeing all of it, I'm not so sure about this change on Namor being from an underwater El Dorado. I think Marvel's Atlantis is way more than unique and interesting than DC's Atlantis. While DC's feels Star Wars but underwater, Marvel's has a more unique take with its underwater fantasy where you can actually feel like you're experiencing another culture. It was rumored that Namor was in fact going to be the villain of the movie, as Atlantis has beef with Wakanda, and Namor is usually tossed between hero and villain. Sadly, that's not the case. If you don't know who Atuma is, I don't blame you. Atuma is the leader of our barbarian tribe of Atlanteans who were banished and swore to come back and conquer Atlantis. Pretty much Namor's version of M'Baku, but evil. And yeah, I don't know anything else. He's pretty generic. In general, do you think this is too much for a movie like this that's gonna honor the passing of Chadwick Boseman and be an origin story for Namor, Riri, and Atuma? Well, what if I told you that this film would have Doctor Doom? This man needs no introduction. Doom is, well, Doom. He is one, if not the best villain in superhero media. He's powerful, menacing, and a mighty ruler of his country, Latveria. If you're a moviegoer, you might be confused on why I'm giving him this much praise. To that I say, the movies that he's portrayed in are very inaccurate and overall not that good. His first live-action appearance was in 1992's Fantastic Four movie, which was never released in theaters, and that's why you never hear about it. 2005 and 2007's Fantastic Four movies betray him as a knockoff Green Goblin, pretty much. And I don't know what Fant Four Sticks Doom was. Doom is way more than a Green Goblin level threat. He's a multiversal threat. You think Kang's gonna be the big bad? No. He's probably just another pawn of Doom. He has super level intelligence, telepathic mind control, shoots energy blasts out of his gauntlets, and was trained in the magic arts by Doctor Strange himself, but becomes all-powerful God Emperor Doom after defeating the Beyonder and stealing his powers. He even kills Thanos in under 5 seconds as God Emperor Doom. So how are they going to introduce this powerhouse in a movie this cramped? Well, post-credit scene. Are you surprised? Honestly, it's better for Wakanda Forever with so much happening. Introducing someone like Doom would be a handful. Besides, he's getting his own movie. This little segment is just my plot prediction. The film's gonna open with T'Challa visiting Namor until he gets ambushed and killed on the way. Shuri, Okoye with her Dora Milaje, and Riri, who will be a Wakandan, will investigate what happened to the king, with Namor and El Dorado being the suspected killers. Turns out T'Challa was killed by none other than Atuma, so Namor and Wakanda will team up and defeat Atuma, uniting El Dorado and Wakanda. Overall, with the info that we've got about the passing of Chad, Shuri taking T'Challa's place, Riri's introduction, Namor's origin, Atlantis being replaced with underwater El Dorado, the villain Atuma, Doctor Doom, and the state that Marvel movies are stuck in, this movie sounds like it has too much for a story. Will this movie be bad? I don't actually know. Maybe Marvel can pull all of this off and make a solid MCU film. Anyways, that's about it.